This is from a recent test from October 7th, and you're going to see we're writing a letter to a landlord complaining about the noise on a block of flats, and we need to include where we live, the problem, and what he should do. Now I have a class immediately after this, so we're going to kind of do this a little bit quick, but if you guys have questions and things like that, feel free to let me know. I'll be checking the comments. That way you can let me know if anything is not clear. Okay, so key things again for these task 1 general letters. You want to make sure you attack every single one of these bullet points. My suggestion is usually at least 2 to 3 sentences for each of these bullet points. Another suggestion I have is to try to imagine that these are real situations, because that's going to help you with vocabulary. You want to try to make this sound as realistic as possible. Imagine that this is an actual situation that you need to respond to. Okay, so with those things in mind, start from the beginning. The key thing for the beginning is you want to make sure that it's very, very clear what exactly the purpose of your writing this is. You want to always have, there should be no doubt about why you're writing this letter. Okay, you always want that to be super clear. So, for instance, I could start off, this is Geoff Anderson from Unit C5 on Carson Street. As you know, I've rented this place since August without issue. Okay, so that way I may have rented this place from you without issue, and my family has loved the facilities like the laundry room and saltwater pool. Okay, I'm adding these details because 1, it establishes the connection between me and the landlord. Okay, it shows that I'm a tenant. Also, I'm trying to include some vocabulary that is going to separate me from other students. You know, I don't want to just settle for words like pool and facilities, because those words are really general. You know, these are things that people can learn in their first year or 2 years of English. And if you're trying to get like a 7 or higher, you need to be really pushing that vocab a little bit more, right? So that's the goal with some of this word choice and things like that. So for instance, we name a specific room, a laundry room, and then a specific type of pool, a saltwater pool, as opposed to one that uses chlorine. Okay, it also establishes a nice relationship. Okay, so it shows that you're happy with the place. So this is something that's a little bit unusual. Okay, ever since the new students who booked maybe several apartments across from us arrived, there has been an issue with noise. Okay. So we've already kind of identified where we live. We're on Unit C5. We've also identified a little bit about the apartment block. Okay, so we're saying that we've run it since August. We've loved the facilities. We could even take it a step further. So this is Unit C5 on Carson Street. So this is Geoff Anderson from Unit C5 on Carson Street. Or maybe we could say from maybe like the 2-story unit. This is Geoff Anderson from the 2-story unit C5 on Carson Street, just to add more details about where we live. Okay, so that's the goal with a lot of this information in this first block. We've also introduced that we're going to be talking about noise. Since I also mentioned issue up here, I'm going to maybe take this way down here. So there's been a problem. There's been a problem with noise. Okay. Now we can describe the problem more. While my family and I understand that freshmen and sophomores want to enjoy themselves, we believe they have taken it too far with parties though that go on until the early mornings from Thursday through Sunday. At times it seems like they hire DJs and bands. They hire DJs and even bands, which are paper thin. Walls have no chance to muffle. Or maybe no chance of muffling. Maybe I'd be surprised if other neighbors haven't already complained to you. Okay, so again, that's what the problem is. So we've already talked about where we live. We've talked about the problem. So now what we can do is we can talk about solutions. Please take some time this week to speak with our neighbors, as this matter clearly violates the lease agreement your tenants have signed. Should it continue to be a problem, we are prepared to contact the local authorities as well. Naturally, we'd like to avoid that course of action. Okay, so again, we have a couple sentences now, again, talking about what we think the landlord should do. So we want them to talk to them. And yeah, beyond that, I mean, that's the goal, right? We want the landlord to talk to them. And then if that's not enough, then we also can threaten the landlord with some legal sort of action. Okay, so that's something that we can pursue. So we're giving the threat of further action, right? Just to try to give some weight to what we're saying to the landlord. Okay. And then you could wrap up. Naturally, we'd like to avoid that course of action, as we really have enjoyed having a cordial relationship with you. Okay, so again, I think we've done everything that we need to do for this task. Just to kind of highlight some vocab things I think are helping this. For instance, a two-story unit. Again, specific things like the specific types of rooms. So, for instance, the laundry room, the saltwater pool, for the type of pool. Maybe instead of booked, because a lot of times like maybe just rented several apartments across from us, arrived. Specific types of students. So for instance, freshmen and sophomores. So again, those are first and second year students in college, or even in high school too. Um, it's like hire DJs, bands that play music, paper thin walls, muffling. Also, expressions too and things like that. Collocations, idioms, phrases, these things are also important if you're trying to score a 7 or higher. So, example right there, I'd be surprised if to violate the lease, another kind of expression, but also some terms. Contact the authorities. A course of action, again, vocab, but also an expression. And then cordial. Okay, so those are some of the vocab things I think are really working well for this. Okay. So yeah, before I head out, guys, just a couple of quick reminders too. You can get your own tasks evaluated by me on our site, fluentamerican.com, going up here, clicking this link. Also on this site, I have a course of videos. Videos are available separately for purchase, and they go through content that I commonly go through with students in classes. But naturally, this is at a discount because, this is material that typically with students, we're spending 3, 4, 5 lessons on, and that can get expensive over time. But the videos are naturally a cheaper option, and they go through the same material. So you're getting the same material at a much, much, much lower price, and you can also rewatch it. You can always send me questions and things like that too. So it's a great value option for those who are studying IELTS, but maybe you don't have enough. Maybe it's difficult to afford an IELTS course at the moment. So I think the videos are a great option to consider. All right, if you have other IELTS questions and things like that, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, and take care.